In the great game of power, which one are you? The one who's always chasing or the one who's being chased? Today, we're breaking down a seriously powerful strategy, Law 8. It's all about flipping that script, saving your energy, and making the world come to you. So, let's see how it's done.
To really get this law, we've got to start with a simple but super powerful story. It's about two hunters, and their choices, well, they reveal everything you need to know about the psychology of power.
Okay, so picture this. On one side, you have this exhausting, frantic chase, and on the other, you have this quiet, irresistible lure. This one single image perfectly captures the two paths to power we're about to explore. Now, this first hunter, he represents the approach most people take. He's aggressive, sure. He's active, but he's also reacting. He's playing on the deer's terms, burning through all his energy, and ultimately, he's not in control of the situation at all. And then you've got the second hunter. This guy embodies the very core of this law. He uses bait, he uses patience, and he understands desire. He doesn't waste an ounce of energy chasing. Instead, he makes the target spend its energy to walk right into his trap. He controls the entire encounter. So this little parable, it perfectly illustrates two fundamental ways you can operate in the world. You can either be the controller or you can be the chaser. Let's really break down what that means. Just look at this contrast. Over on the left, you've got the chaser. You can almost feel their panic and desperation, can't you? It just kills any leverage they might have had. They're just reacting to the world. But the controller on the right, they're the picture of calm. They force others to invest their own energy, to enter their world on their terms. See, they don't just play the game, they set its rhythm.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. Think about it like a negotiation. The person who makes that first aggressive offer, they often lose. The real power belongs to the one who sets the agenda, who defines the terms and makes everyone else react to the situation that they've so carefully constructed.
Okay, theory's great. Let's dive into one of history's most brilliant, most dramatic examples of this law in action. This is a true masterclass. This was the exact problem facing the leaders of Europe back in 1814. Napoleon Bonaparte, even stuck in exile on the island of Elba, was this monster they couldn't control. So, how do you finish him off for good? The master strategist Talleyrand knew a direct attack was just plain foolish. He understood that Napoleon's greatest weakness wasn't his army, it was his colossal ego. So instead of sending an army, he sent whispers across Europe, rumors that France was failing, that the people were desperate for their emperor to return. It was the perfect bait, custom-made for a man who believed he was a savior.
And of course, Napoleon believed his glorious return was his own idea, a stroke of his own genius. But in reality, he was a puppet. He walked exactly where Talleyrand wanted him, into a bankrupt country facing a united Europe on a battlefield that was not of his choosing. He chased glory right into his own doom.
So why is this strategy so timelessly effective? It's not just about clever plans, you know? It's because it plays on the most fundamental aspects of our human psychology.
It's just human nature to resist being pushed. But we are often totally powerless when we are pulled by our own desires. Whether it's our ego, greed, or just that thirst for revenge, the right bait makes people move themselves. They truly believe they're in control, chasing their own prize, when in reality, you're the one holding the strings.
And this principle works absolutely everywhere, from war to architecture. During the Russo-Japanese War, Japan couldn't win a direct fight, so they baited the Russian fleet into an exhausting journey halfway around the world. By the time the Russians arrived, they were easy targets. In the same way, the architect Brunelleschi pretended to be sick to make his employers realize his value. He didn't beg, he created a void that only he could fill, forcing them to come to him on his terms.
So how can we actually apply this in our own lives? This isn't just a strategy for emperors and admirals. It has practical applications for every single one of us.
Think about your career. Instead of begging for that promotion, build skills so rare that the company needs you. In business, stop chasing every single sale. Create a product so compelling that customers seek you out. In relationships, constant pursuit just signals neediness. Instead, cultivate an interesting life that naturally draws others in. In every single case, the goal is to become the prize, not the pursuer.
The core idea here is to fundamentally shift the dynamic. Let your silence be the bait that draws people in. Let your value be the magnet that makes them curious. When you stop chasing, you start controlling the terms of every single engagement.
So what's the single most important takeaway from Law 8? It really all comes down to the power of stillness.
You can boil it all down to this. Amateurs move their pieces aggressively. Masters control the board itself. True power is the ability to stay calm, to make one single calculated move, and then force everyone else to react, keeping them permanently on the defensive.
So as you go about your day, just reflect on this. In your interactions, in your goals, which role are you playing more often? Are you the one burning energy reacting to things, or are you the one calmly setting the traps?
Because in the end, the ultimate expression of control is to never, ever chase what you can make come to you.